Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Or almost good afternoon. I guess I would consider this time 10:50 a.m. to be late morning or early afternoon. A little bit later of a start today than usual, I guess. I had some stuff to take care of, and I may have, or I will have to take a phone call in like an hour or less. Um, what did I do today? I had to vacuum. I had to take the garbage out. Yesterday I grocery shopped and um yeah, I had to schedule a phone call, which I'll have to take here in a minute. And I read, as usual, highlighted. I'm thinking about making some changes to the book club segment. I don't know how long I'm gonna even continue doing that because it is taking forever to read a book. And maybe I would just have to be more selective of the books that I read. Um, make them shorter books. That way, it's not cancer as a topic for 3 months or something. I don't know. Let me know what you think, and you can tell me in chat or post on the wall on my in my bio on Twitch, or you could join the Discord server, and there's a section there for feedback and suggestions, just whatever you guys want to see. Well, I mean, I guess I also have to like it because no one's even watching currently. But yes, I am done with Silksong. I decided I got as much as I can out of the game without, or just about as much without going back and scouring the map for secrets that I might have missed. And the map in that game is big. And the quests and stuff, just side content. What does that give me? Like some tools? I already beat the dang game. Or not the dang game, but the game. And had like, I don't know, Steam says I had 96 hours in the game, but then the game itself only says like 83 hours of playtime. And so, 83 hours. And I was told that it was like a 100-hour game, and that was about accurate. If I were a completionist, then it would take, more than that, like 120 hours or something, or 130, maybe more. I don't know. Depends how long it would take to find the secrets. I am not a big fan of looking up where everything is. I feel like that's just, you're not even playing the game at that point. You're just following directions or whatever. Yeah, some parts can still be challenging if there's a boss fight, whatever. But that's, the epitome of spoilers. I'd like to actually be able to naturally play the game how I want. And so I think I might eventually do a no backseat gaming uh, rule I was thinking about. But yeah, hope you're all having a great morning. Let's get on to the book club. And then news segment after this. Probably less than like 20 minutes, I'd say. Only read a few pages each morning per stream, it says. Or it seems. In 1884, at the prime of his career in New York, Halsted read a paper describing the use of a new surgical anesthetic called cocaine. Cocaine was used as a surgical anesthetic apparently in 1884. So, quite a while ago. But it just seems like a recipe for disaster to me. The cocaine, it was called the fast food of surgical anesthesia. His experimental curiosity aroused, Halsted began to inject himself with the drug, testing it before using it to numb patients for his ambitious surgeries. Getting high on his own supply there, not a smart idea, most likely. He found that it produced much more than a transitory numbness. It amplified his instinct for tirelessness, and it synergized with his already manic energy. So yeah, it's almost like he's on drugs. I guess cocaine wasn't a drug at the time, not considered a drug, because I know in Coca-Cola, rumor has it there used to be like extract from cocaine, something in there to make it more addictive. I think I read that was mostly a myth, and it was from the same plant that cocaine is derived from, but it wasn't actually like chemically identical to the drug cocaine. But yep, so it's given him lots of energy, clearer and clearer with no sense of fatigue and no desire or ability to sleep. It'll do that to you. He voluntarily entered the Butler Sanatorium in Providence, where he was treated with morphine to treat his cocaine habit. In essence, exchanging one addiction for another. So, would you rather have a morphine addiction or a cocaine addiction? I would have to say, I honestly don't know. I never have tried either cocaine or morphine. Neither nor. I'm not sure which one is considered like less healthy or more damaging. I don't know. But it says that his young surgical residents didn't even suspect anything. I don't know how you wouldn't suspect something. Here you have like, a 40, 50, 60-year-old man who's got more energy than, a 10-year-old probably. Superhuman, it calls it. Man, I in my work experience, I've met a couple people actually who, they're middle-aged men or late middle-aged men who they're just full of youthful energy more than me, and I'm, less than half their age. And I wonder if they are also cocaine addicts or were. I don't know. Just just wondering. He married Caroline Hampton, formerly his chief nurse, and lived in a sprawling 3-story mansion on the top of a hill, cold as stone and most unlivable, as one of his students described it, each residing on a separate floor. Wow, how would you like to live in a cold as stone mansion? I'm not sure. Maybe it was just very bland colors or something, decorations, and most unlivable. No furniture inside, etc. And how would you like to live on a separate floor from your wife? Like, I mean, I get that you might want your privacy and stuff and you have the space, so why not use it? But aren't husband and wife meant to be together? Maybe the marriage wasn't that great. In Germany, Halsted had seen Volkmann remove not just the breast, but a thin, fan like muscle spread out immediately under the breast called the pectoralis minor in the hopes of cleaning out the minor fragments of leftover cancer. So he's starting to dig into the muscle tissue. Can't be good. Instead of stripping away the thin pectoralis minor, which had little function, Halsted decided to dig even deeper into the breast cavity, cutting through the pectoralis major, the large prominent muscle responsible for moving the shoulder and the hand. Yeah, that's just dumb. Well, I mean, I guess they believed at the time that just removing as much as possible from the site of the tumor would get rid of the tumor for sure. He thought he was uprooting cancer from its very source. He did not stop his surgery at the pectoralis major. Now he began to slice through the collarbone, reaching for a small cluster of lymph nodes that lay just underneath it. Yeah, that's like starting to affect, other things in the body. And you can't just start removing everything from the human body in a surgery. They didn't know at the time. Gosh, we already have learned that surgeries oftentimes led to death. And so knowing what we do today and looking back to their actions in, 1800s, late 1800s, that's almost like murder. Shameful. Shame, shame, shame. Another star apprentice even cleaned out the anterior mediastinum, the deep lymph nodes buried inside the chest. Probably important. The mammoth mastectomies permanently disfigure the bodies of his patients. With the pectoralis major cut off, the shoulders caved inward as if in a perpetual shrug, making it impossible to move the arm forward or sideways. Removing the lymph nodes under the armpit often disrupted the flow of lymph, causing the arm to swell up with accumulated fluids like an elephant's leg, a condition he vividly called surgical elephantiasis. Elephantiasis. Not elephantitis. I think that's something different. Recuperation from surgery often took patients months, even years. I'd say they probably faced almost an equal chance of survival without even touching the cancer. I don't know, that's probably blatantly untrue. But yeah, I'm wondering maybe what I could do is read the chapter live or, read the highlights live because I don't know, that would take probably even longer than just reading the highlights though. And the main problem is we're only 8% through this book, and here it's been like a couple weeks that I've been working on it. I don't plan to be reading this book for the next, 4 months or something. Hmm. What could we do? So I can't just straight up read the chapter because that's copyright infringement. It is not my book. I really don't know if the book club segment is a big hit or not. I don't think Twitch shows you these statistics for VODs. I know nobody watches it live. Well, very, very seldom. Should I do something other than read and just read on my own time, whatever I'm interested in? And I could, sometimes share things. Or should I make it a chore, like a task every day to make highlights? That kind of detracts my attention from the reading. I do like this segment though. I think reading is good and it gives me something to talk about. And so I would like to just rather adapt it, and I don't want it to take too long. But I'll think about it. Let me know if you have any ideas. Maybe I could just switch books to a shorter book. But then I don't want to just completely drop this book. I don't typically read nonfiction unless it's like an autobiography where there's actual stories and stuff. This is almost like a textbook in some regards. And it's not that entertaining to read, I don't think. It's entertaining to learn new interesting facts and stuff, but all right. What do we got here? Another mountain lake. Was this the same one as yesterday? I feel like I've seen this picture before. It's a good picture. A little redundant though. Milford Sound, Piopiotahti, New Zealand. We're visiting a landmark of the deep southern hemisphere that's a true stunner by any name. But as it happens, this magical 10-mile fjord has two. Milford Sound / Piopiotahti is among hundreds of locales throughout New Zealand that feature a dual official name, with ancient Maori names splitting the bill with more recent European ones. Another well-known example is Aoraki / Mount Cook, the highest peak here on the South Island and in all of New Zealand. Alright, so it's Piopiotahti in New Zealand. I said it was stunning, but I mean, it is visually pretty stunning. I wonder if the water's warm and if the weather's warm. That would be really cool. This time of day looks like almost late sunset, or if it maybe early morning, but I think I would prefer late sunset because it's like getting dark and the orangey glow is starting to fade away. It is nice. I guess the only thing it's missing is maybe a dock, a couple boats, a couple houses along the shoreline. That would make it feel even more cozy because it's like, someone's backyard basically, and they go here all the time, have lots of memories and experiences in this Milford Sound. But I don't know, maybe it's in a national wildlife park or something, probably. Not sure. Or there's gators. Could be gators in the water. Are alligators in New Zealand? I don't know. But let me drink my tea and then we will get started with new game today. I'm officially starting Order of the Giants DLC of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. However, today I think I don't know if I'm going to be redoing the stuff, like the side missions from the main story. I just do not know. I'm not sure what kind of rewards would make it worthwhile. That game is It is very much a movie game, and so the gameplay I didn't find to be, you know, exceptionally engaging. The some of the puzzles and stuff were cool, but it's in 3D games, they're not usually like cool platformers, action type games like Silksong, and I kind of prefer those types of games. Silksong type, not only Metroidvania, but action oriented games, I guess. But Indiana Jones, all in all, I think it does a good job. It was nominated for Game of the Year, I saw. I don't know if, or maybe that was a post from last year. I'm not sure. Maybe, I don't know. I don't think it was like that good. I stopped at like 20 hours or 30 hours or something, and I had enough at the time. But maybe the DLC will be different. Excuse me. Ugh. And I just inhaled tea. That tea tasted strange today. Hey, Vic, wait, what happened? Why did my microphone it went into the red for a second? How's it going, Viet Cong? Good morning or good evening. Either or. I'm moving on from Silk Song today. How often do I shave my beard? Um, until November for like that no shave November thing. I would shave it like every couple weeks, or well, I wouldn't shave. So, can you really see the jawline? I wouldn't shave. If I get up close, you'll see that my beard is really thin on the chin and stuff. It's thicker, but especially on the cheeks. But on the cheeks, it's only like a few weeks of growth, but it doesn't get much thicker than that. Shave the jawline. Look weird. I think it looked okay. It's not like a forget what they call it. But if you shave the here, let's see. Um I think it looks more professional, something like this, where you shave just the top of the cheeks and you leave, the stuff along the bottom. But then my beard, it's always been pretty patchy, and so it doesn't look as good as like this guy's beard. I don't know. I'm just probably gonna keep growing it out and see if like I could get one of those like long beards. I don't know because my hair is kind of curly and or wavy curly. It might not grow in like that, but I've never tried to grow like a big beard. I've always trimmed it and kept it pretty short, and so I'll see how it goes. But alrighty, put the display capture away. Okie dokie. Change category. And then start the game. Um, I'm not sure. Maybe for this game, you need to be able to see the top right of the screen. I don't think so. I do have to set up the graphics I was having some trouble with before. Um, whoa, a lot of like lag or whatever on the mouse here. That tells me that the graphics are set a little too high. However, this section did always lag, or like the frame rate would be lower in the desert section. Let's see. Video. Isn't there a um so this is like max graphics. It's supreme overall graphics quality. It does kind of lag my computer out though. But my computer is actually pretty strong. Hmm. Where was the there was like a what is it called? The analytics thing, like it tells you what frame rate you're getting. Video. Hmm. Oh, performance metrics. Oh, I'm only getting 19 frames per second. Let's see. Um, sheesh. I tested this offline and it was saying 150 frames per second, which is what I have it capped at. Did that change maybe? Video FPS limit 150. Um, oh wait a second. Now it's higher. It looks pretty smooth with the frame generation thing. It's not even 100 frames per second though. Let me actually make sure that the stream is not lagging out. Let me put this over here. Go to my channel. All right. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think it sounds, or I think it looks pretty good, honestly. And it's not lagging out my stream, so let's close that. Hmm. Performance metrics. Let's see, what should I... Yeah, I'll keep the volume at like 14, I guess. So how does one go to... the Order of Giants DLC? And should I... This looks like it's a, hang on, journal maps, books, travels, adventure. There's a check mark, so I guess the adventure portion is done. Mysteries. One of the Nazis has been caught stealing equipment to sell on the black market. There could be more information at his bunk bed. Notes. Pohl's letter. One of your soldiers, Heinrich Pfluger, was caught red-handed carrying stolen equipment along the road to Kent Kowes, probably on his way to sell it. We've had a lot of problems lately with equipment disappearing from the dig sites. I got a report just yesterday about a missing stick of dynamite. I believe someone has been stealing the equipment to sell it to the black market. Perhaps we have finally caught the perpetrator. We have a Pfluger in arrest, waiting to be interrogated thoroughly. They spelled thoroughly wrong. By Gantz. Meantime, you should search his bunk bed. There may be more things to find here. Pohl. Okay, so let's check this out and just get reaccustomed to the controls. Trek. Bright future. Alright, so I have to go over here. Apparently. Oh, I'm not allowed to be here, I don't think. No, get away, dogs. Oh. I tried to punch him, but Indie punches too slow. I'm pressing that repeatedly. Punch, punch, punch. Does it scare him off for good? Is there another one chasing me? Oh. Alright, where am I going now? Why are you guys scared of me? Let's equip Indie's outfit? What is this other outfit? Dig site outfit. I think that one actually was from this part of the game, so I'm gonna equip the dig site outfit. What is this? Smeared textures? You seeing that? Yeah. Alright, the Pyramids of Giza. Does that say 1936? I wish you could, like, sheath your weapon. So square is pick up.
Ich muss ihn überprüfen.
Oh, following this guy.
Diesen